Nevertheless, the point I was making, there would have been many amongst us who would have got our accreditation. There would have been many that had planned already their trips to Makkah Mukarramah. Many amongst us who Allah had blessed them, every year they were going for Hajj. Intizam had been made, but Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, beautifully he says it, Araftu Rabbi bifaskhil azayim. Araftu Rabbi bifaskhil azayim. He said that when my plans broke, I had done everything. The plans were there. I couldn't even, last year if you asked those that had got their accreditation, those that go for Hajj every year, those that got the intizam, those that book, ask them before February or even in February, if you spoke to them and told them, listen, this year you wouldn't, not going to be able to make Hajj. This year the borders will be closed. The person will look at you as if you lost your marbles. What are you talking about? Yet, Ali radiallahu anhu says, in this I learned to recognize Allah. In this I learned to recognize Allah. When my plans broke, I want to be happy, I'm sad, why? I want to be healthy, I am sick, why? I made plans, I couldn't carry them out, why? What is the lesson behind this? Lillahi mulku samawati wal ard. You are not the owner of your destiny. You make your plans and then fatawakkal ala Allah. Ask Allah. No Sahuk, no organization, no Saudi government is making you or giving you the ability to go for Hajj. It is not their accreditation. This acceptance, this opening of the road is wallah, from Allah and only from Allah. Araftu Rabbi bifasqil azayim. Ali radiallahu ta'ala said, I recognize the existence of my Allah, the superiority of my Allah, the command of my Allah, the power of my Allah, when my plans broke. So we do not become despondent. We do not become depressed. A Muslim is not someone who is depressed. A Muslim is not someone who gives in to despondency. A Muslim does not need medication to treat depression. A Muslim is what? Allahu Akbar. قُلْ لَن يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا هُوَ مَوْلَانَا وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. One verse, wallah. Today, Allah forgive us, whether it is Muslims, even non-Muslims. Hate campaign of against somebody. Why? Because the person is perceived to be a source of spreading coronavirus. Blaming this one, blaming that one, looking this direction, looking that direction. We made plans for Hajj, it couldn't be fulfilled. We made other plans, people have lost their jobs, lost their livelihoods. Understand, this life is temporary. This is a test. One verse of the Quran is the sufficient panacea to all this, the answer to all this. Qul, tell them, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, my beloved, tell them, lay yusibana, no harm, no upending of your plans, no breaking of your systems, no difficulty, no trial, no tribulation can ever befall you. Illa ma kataballahu lana, except if Allah had not decreed it. Allah has decreed it. Allah has decreed it. It is not that car or you by chance being in that particular spot that you met up in an accident or got paralyzed, Allah protect us, or died, whatever it may be. لَن يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا. Nothing and no one can harm you except unless Allah has decreed it. كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا هُوَ مَوْلَانَا. He is our master. Allah is our master. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Let your reliance be upon Allah. Let your reliance be upon Allah. Let your reliance be upon Allah. My respected brothers, I digress from my actual topic. This is depressing. Wallah, it is depressing. It is depressing, it is sad to note as an ummah today, that we are more worried about where this thing was engineered and who is behind it. And half the time it is baseless theories. 4G, 5G, this is happening, that is happening. This is Allah's azab. And this is there for us to knock Allah's door, to go back to Allah, cry tears of blood. Situation was such, masjids were closed. Allah opened the masjid. We are not saying don't take precaution. Why has the number of musallis diminished? Why is the masjid empty, relatively? Because of some obstacle? Because of some obstacle, the economies of the world, despite the virus, have opened up. Cinemas have opened up. Places of masiyat and haram have opened up. Despite the impediments, understand, I am not saying don't take precaution. I'm not saying don't take precaution. Take your precaution. But don't let that precaution, the greatest precaution is what? The greatest precaution is what? Allah be with you. Connect with Allah. And how do you connect with Allah? In sajda. You connect with Allah through the masjid. You connect with Allah turning to Allah Ta'ala. You connect with Allah in the early hours of the night, getting up in your homes and going on that musalla and crying before Allah and beg from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Someone's tears. Prefer someone's tears. Prefer someone's crying. What greater sadness can there be? Allahu Akbar. The ummah cannot make Hajj. Kaabatullah is empty. The Rawda of Rasulullah. And still we are not crying. Still we are not asking those questions. Still we are not introspecting. Our da'wat and tabligh is not taking place. Our madaris have been closed. Restriction in every direction. And still we are blaming others. We are not turning to Allah. We are not asking those questions. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. Wallah, there is only one reason for all this. Forget about who is behind it. There is only one reason for all this. For us to knock the door of Tawbah. For us to turn back to Allah. For us to cry before Allah. I made my plans. I was going for Hajj. I was going to your house. The doors have been closed. Are we going to blame some organization? Are we going to blame the governments? Are we going to blame the scientists? It is His house. He gives the permission. It is His invitation. You have been denied that invitation. There is a reason. Turn to Allah. Beg from Allah. Cry before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gives tawfiq akhirah.